Hey, it's Kevin with the New Warehouse podcast here at the Element Logic Trade Show in New Jersey. And I'm joined here next to me, Seth Weisberg, Mr. Element Logic himself.
Yeah.
Right, the man behind the whole thing here. So,
Wow.
Seth, tell us a little bit about how the show's going today.
Well, I appreciate you saying that first off, but very happy to be a cog in the wheel of this incredible company, and the trade show's going great. It's been exceeding expectations since the start, almost more because of the great vendors that we've had here.
Yeah.
And the vendors have even said to us, "You've got a lot of people coming in that have done that are awesome for any trade show, but the people that we're meeting, the networking that we're doing, has been extremely beneficial for us." So we've got great vendors, we've got a great group of people that are walking through, and there's a lot of really good conversations going on. From at Modex and different types of trade shows are great, right?
Yeah.
And I've got delusions of grandeur pretty much with anything I do, and all I can think of is we should rent out the Javits Center and
Yeah.
start doing a trade show, right?
Let's do
We'll have
it.
the New Warehouse in one corner taking over, and we'll do our thing. Cool, right?
Yeah.
But the intimacy, the smaller show really is cool.
Yeah.
And there's got to be 300-400 people here really having conversations. So instead of everything taking such quick snapshots of each conversation in a bigger show,
Right.
where you're just trying to gather their information, move on so you can meet somebody else, people are really able to develop real relationships here, or at least begin the groundwork to start to develop, to get to know people and see if they really want to do business together. It's nice.
Yeah,
Really nice.
absolutely. Because I mean, I see a lot of the vendors kind of talking to each other too, and they're exploring what are they doing, how could we work together potentially, which I think is a great thing because in the ecosphere that we live in now, right, in the warehouse systems, there needs to be kind of those partnerships that happen, right?
Yeah.
And I guess along those lines, right, I think since the last time we had you on the podcast, there's been some developments with the business, right?
Yeah,
Used to be ABCO, now you've combined with Element Logic and SDI. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that.
So, I mean, there's so much to tell. I'll try and keep it somewhat succinct. But ABCO, of course, family business that I came into 20 plus years ago when my father got sick. The business was not in a great place. He didn't have any assistance. I got very lucky, came in at the right time, had his tutelage, but he never really came back based on his health, right? But I was lucky to be able to bring on some great people pretty early. And we built this great team. And the industry, as you well know, over the last 20 years has grown.
Yeah.
So the company kept growing. We kept on reinvesting back in the business. And then, of course, 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, we had a great partnership with the ZAF Group. But then we realized that we got to a point where we were basically as far as we can go. During all that time, we've been developing a great relationship with SDI.
Yeah.
Somebody that we competed against for a while, but then we started to work together. For different things that we excelled in, they would hire us. For things that they excelled in, we would hire them. And or we just work together on things. So when we put ABCO out to bid, when we packaged it up and put it out to bid, I get a call from my good friend Chris, and he says, "Is this you guys?" And I said, "Yes."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, I would love to be a part of this process." I said, "Chris, I'd love to see that happen." I'd love to tell you that I had any sway in that,
Yeah.
but I was a minority owner at that point in time, right? But Element Logic, who bought SDI almost 4 years ago, right around 4 years ago, threw their hat in the ring and just presented so well. And the relationship with SDI and the way they presented, the way everything developed was so incredibly organic. And it was a really competitive process, which was also, I don't know if I should go into this exactly, but it was somewhat flattering for a business that me and the team loved so much and built. There was so much interest, and it was a very long process, and it was a difficult decision. And I know the ZAF Group had a difficult decision, but great for them,
Yeah.
because the way they wanted to do it was they wanted to make sure we found the best possible home,
Right.
and we really did.
Yeah.
Because the team at Element, and Chris, I can't say enough good things about Chris. He is an incredibly thoughtful, open-minded, great, charismatic leader. Awesome. And he's been a friend for a long time, but in the last 7 months, that much better, right? Because now I work with him, I talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
But Ankush, who's the global CEO, who really drove that whole process, he's the same way.
Yeah.
And he's super hands-on, and he wants to win, but he also realizes you need to put people first. Now, he's fighting that difficult challenge that any CEO has, which is he's running a large organization, and he's trying to balance finances with people and doing the right thing and doing it the right way. But he's not just telling people and pointing people what to do. He's in the mix doing it.
Nice.
And it's great. Yeah. He's here.
Yeah.
He's here. He was in Jersey yesterday, flew out for a meeting last night, flew back into Jersey today. And the reason I'm bringing that up is between Krish, Ankush, Christopher, some of the other legacy people, and the people from Europe, like Havard, Ciara, who runs people and culture, like the way this company runs is very similar to ABCO. Now, ABCO's a lot smaller, so you could do a lot of things differently.
Yeah.
But the more I get to work with them, the more I appreciate them and appreciate their passion for it. Because these guys, they want to build. They want to build good distribution centers. They want to build relationships with customers. They want to build careers of people that work in the business. They want to do the right things and do them the right way, which was ABCO's theme, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We weren't perfect, but we certainly tried to be. So then you turn that and you turn the people aspect, right, into what we're doing and how we're doing it. We had enormous experience with static storage and relatively basic and simple conveyance, right? Did a lot of sortation, inbound, outbound, some pretty technical stuff, but nothing super sexy. Even though warehouses in general are sexy, which we all agree on.
Right.
We all agree on. We didn't do anything super sexy, right?
Yeah.
But SDI was very sexy. And SDI had all sorts of in-house controls, and SDI had all sorts of technology that they manufactured. Really cool stuff, right? Then you bring in Element.
Right.
So Element then has been incorporating that into SDI for a while, and they've really focused on AutoStore, which is awesome.
Yeah.
What a great tool. So then combine that, we do so much, the joining of all, ABCO being the smaller part, but adding energy, static, and just some other different things, and just a great team to it.
Yeah.
Adding all that just creates for a really nice recipe for success.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's amazing to see kind of those combinations come together, because there's different kind of offerings that you all were bringing to the table, but now to bring that kind of comprehensive solution. And I think you told me kind of early on, or maybe the press conference or something, you were saying that, like, Element was going in and they're putting in auto stores, but then they're like, how come we're not doing the racking too, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, we're doing the racking, but how come we're not doing the auto store, right?
That's right.
So like bringing that all together, I think gives you such a broad offering. So tell us a little bit about that, like for the end user, for the one that's going to purchase solutions from you all.
Yeah.
How does that coming together help to benefit them and help to give them a better project?
Well, this is where Element really shines. And SDI too, but I'm learning so much more about Element right now. Over the last 7 months, I've had a crash course, right? But Element has developed process. And Element isn't selling hardware as much as you might think they are.
Okay.
Right? Yes, AutoStore is their main tool.
Yeah.
As it should be. But the reason they're great at it is because of the software they've got.
Right.
Because of the process they've created. So what Element's doing, now combining SDI skill set, well, they have been obviously for a couple of years, but now combining the ABCO skill set too, is they're developing process around the entire facility, which, let's be real, there's an enormous amount of really great manufacturers and resellers or sellers of items, right? Retailers, whatever. Their business is selling their product. Some of them go through 3PLs, and I'm a huge 3PL fan, and we love working with 3PLs.
Sure. Yeah.
But a lot of them do it on their own too. And a lot of them hire really, really smart people to do their distribution. Listen, some of the best companies in the world, right?
Yeah.
So they hire some of the best people in the world. But those people are used to doing and have seen a relatively limited amount. They might be brilliant, and they might have been parts of brilliant operations,
Yeah.
but their exposure is naturally limited.
Yeah.
When you look at the amount of exposure Element has had, combined with SDI, combined with ABCO, listen, there's a lot of good integrators out there, right? But I've never seen anything quite like this. And I sit across from the table of these guys, and I'm like, wow, these guys are smart. These guys are passionate. And I really think people are focusing on selling steel. And there's a lot selling, there's a lot selling software too, so don't get me wrong. But I've never seen such a focus on process. I think our biggest challenge is people think we sell automation.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
But it's the process that we've created that makes that much of a difference. So we're adding value on so many different levels that I don't think the greater world knows just yet. But they're gonna.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
We're just getting started.
Absolutely. So obviously a big year with, the companies coming together here in 2025, and we're coming to the close of the year. So as we look to 2026 next year, like what's in store, what's on the roadmap for Element Logic?
Oh boy, I mean a lot. There's so much going on. We have a big pipeline right now, and we've got a lot of opportunity of different things that we're closing. But at the moment, and there's some I'm not necessarily privy to say, but we're just looking to add that much more value to our customer base through additional acquisitions, through continuing to build and develop internally, and really just making it a better company. Ankush is just rabidly focused on creating excellence.
Yeah.
And the concept right now and the methodology and the thought process through the business is develop excellence. So throughout the entire business, we've just went through this Kaizen process where there's a ton of different breakout sessions on how we can, in smaller groups, make different processes that much better, and then bring those processes together to continue to be that much better, to create efficiencies within the company, which will add efficiencies and create value and benefit externally for other companies.
Yeah, and I think that's great, and that's striving for excellence there, and certainly, we want to know what's coming, right? But obviously, understand
Can't say
everything.
Yeah.
No, we're friends here.
Yeah,
We're friends, but...
There's just a lot of people out there. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm still new.
Yeah. So really appreciate you coming by here, and tell us too a little bit, because a lot of these vendors that are at the show are like partners that you've worked with before. Like, how does that work from the partner ecosystem, and how has that help move warehouse operations forward by having kind of those open relationships with other vendors?
Sure. Well, there's two things. The first part, you said thank you for coming by, and Kevin, thank you.
Yeah.
We've been friends now a while, colleagues, friends.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of even events that you've had in terms of awards that you've won. Thank you. Watching you grow and watching you develop is really watching school, right? Like what you've done and how you've done it is just very impressive. It really is. And your growth is well-deserved and well-earned. So thank you. Love being a part of the show. Love being a part of the process. That's not just because I want to do more with you. That's because look at what you've done.
Yeah.
But I do want to do more with you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. That said, I love working with other vendors. Customers need solutions. And every customer is going to have a different requirement in different ways. And they're going to look at their products, their fast movers, their slow movers. They're going to look at their geography. They're going to look at a lot of different circumstances, what sits, what doesn't, how long it sits for, the dimensions. There's so many different factors, right? Working the right way, and I refer to as playing nice in the sandbox, developing good relationships with even competitors. Sometimes we work together.
Yeah.
So does it sometimes get contentious? Yes. I don't like losing. And nobody else likes losing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to lose, especially for the nice big project that's been going on a while that people are fighting for. Nobody likes losing. But if you handle your losses well, and if you handle them with respect for your competition, oftentimes it builds that much more and that much greater of a relationship. And bringing these people in and developing that relationship makes us that much stronger for one thing. It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
How do we take care of our customer base? Because if we continue taking care of our customer base, everything else will come naturally.
Yeah.
So I never, and I have, because I'm not perfect, and I've had a career where I've evolved as well, right? But I never want to burn a bridge with people because I want to work with people as much as humanly possible. I want to be able to call them when I can utilize their services, and I want them to call me and us when they can utilize ours. So that's one of the reasons I love having this show,
Yeah.
because it just puts it's us walking our talk.
Yeah.
It's literally us saying, come on in. Are you our competition? Fine, let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do together. Sometimes somebody excels in something that we don't.
Right.
And if we can provide a better service for the customer at the end of the day through utilizing somebody else for parts of it, great. It's okay by me.
Yeah.
If we just take care of the customer, we rapidly focus on taking care of the customer, we're going to win.
Yeah.
It's the way around it. Maybe not all battles, but we're going to win long term.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that approach and that philosophy. I think that's like why you continue to win and excel in the space, and why you're so well known too in the space as well, because I think that, you care about, what's happening with your customers, and you care about the partners too. And it obviously shows by just hosting this show here. So really appreciate you having me here and having me be a part of it. And if people want to partner or be a customer that you can obsess over, what's the best way to do that?
elementlogic.net and Seth.Weisberg at elementlogic.net, Thomas.Hoff at elementlogic.net. We will get you in touch with the right people. Reach out to myself, Thomas, and we'll get everybody in touch with the right people.
All right, fantastic. And we'll put all that information at thenewwarehouse.com and in the show notes here. So make sure you get in touch with Seth. Seth, thanks so much for coming.
Right on. Thank you, brother.
All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video here on our YouTube channel, The New Warehouse Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, make sure you like it as well. And if you want to get this great t-shirt that you see in the video behind me, Warehouses Are Sexy, head to warehousesaresexy.com and get your own.